Running can be so expensive, but if we buy things secondhand, it can be a lot more affordable. And that's exactly what I'm going to show to you in this video. One of the ways that we can make it a little bit cheaper is by buying things secondhand. See, when I started running again, I bought quite a lot of stuff just on Amazon and Temu, running shorts, t-shirts, bras, and so forth. And truth be told, they are not great. I would have been better off if I had just invested in some higher quality stuff. Because now, a year and a half later, if I look at these shorts, I can see just these signs of usage and they're slowly starting to rip apart. The t-shirts start to smell really quickly. So I would have been better off just buying some higher quality gear. Now I can already hear you say, but I don't want to spend that much. I only just got into running again. I'm not sure how much I love running. I already spent this amount on shoes. And that is just what I was thinking at the start. But the truth is, instead of buying things from Amazon, Temu, Shine, whatever, you're better off maybe buying stuff second hand. So I decided that there were a few items that I wanted to get off Vinted to revamp my running wardrobe. And that were shorts, a sports bra, a top, a belt in which I could carry stuff, and a cap, something to protect my head now that it's summer. This is not an entire running wardrobe because we're missing two important things, socks as well as shoes. But when it comes to socks, I personally do prefer to buy them new. And when it comes to shoes, well, I just didn't need new shoes right now. But you can find a lot of shoes on Vinted, and I will show you in this video that that is true. I started my search and I just went scrolling through Vinted, favoriting different items, and I made sure to go out and haggle a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna offer 18. Basically, I'm just lowballing all these people, and I'm sorry, people, I understand you want more, but I'm on a budget. I don't have a lot of money to spend here. You know, if I saw an item that I liked, I would offer something like 75% or 70% of the price. So let's now dive into Vinted. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of how it works and also what I ended up with. So here we have Vinted. You can obviously use Vinted on your phone or on a desktop. I used it on my phone constantly, but for the sake of this video, I think the desktop makes a little bit more sense. And here you can see basically the homepage, which is already catered to things that I've been looking for, as well as all the different categories at the top. So when I was doing this, I was looking mainly for a few very specific items. So you can here see the 5 items that I ended up buying. And you can see that I also had a lot of conversations with other people trying to just get some more. I ended up spending 75 euros on 5 different items, whereas the new price of those items in total were well over 150 euros. For example, this is one of the tops that I bought, and when I got it and I put it on, I realized it is in a completely new state. Sure, it didn't have all like the tags with the prices on it anymore, but other than that, it looks like it was never worn. The Nike trail shorts that I got are amazing. I've already worn them twice, once on a trail race, once on a long trail run, and they are great. They actually came with their original tags on, which is insane. I also got the flip belt. I tried it on twice and it's really good. Also, again, in perfect state. And last but not least, I just got the final packages. So let's open those right now. Okay, so I think this one is going to be the top that I bought, which is from Nike, if I believe, and should be kind of almost like a vintage kind of top. So let's have a look, see if I can open this easily. And this one I expect has been worn, but I think it looked like a really nice racing top. I mean, that looks pretty good, right? I mean, I think that looks pretty nice. It's definitely different. It's a bit vintage indeed. I think I will wear this on my next race. Now let's open the other package. This should be a hat, a Puma hat, as you guys can see right here. You can see what I saw. This was the original posting. Not the best photos, but let's see how it is and if this is my size. Now, I guess with vintage you can, then sell it again, but obviously you cannot just return it to the store. So I am not a big fan of buying a ton of stuff online and then sending it back. And the whole idea of Vinted is to be a little bit more sustainable by buying things secondhand. Obviously you get it cheaper, but also it's more sustainable. So hopefully the size of this cap just works for me. And I think I would otherwise, depending on the price that I paid for the item, I would probably give it to a friend or a family member. Oh wow, okay. I did not realize that. This one still has the actual new tag on it, right? So this is just never worn. This actually does look good. How's that? What did I pay for that? €5, I think? $6.50. I paid $6.50 for this hat, which is completely new. It is the real deal. It's not some kind of fake. Even has another tag on the side. So I think one could say that's a nice hat, especially for the price. Now, as I said, not only can you buy clothes on Vinted, but you can also look for shoes. I would say you're probably best off looking here for shoes that you know you already like, or it is actually a really good way to maybe find shoes that you really want to test out, but you don't want to spend the full amount on. And in that case, you might go for some that are slightly older. So for example, these shoes right here, they're from Nike, and I have never seen these shoes. They're the React X Pegasus Trail 5. Now that to me is quite an interesting shoe. It looks good. What I would then do is go and look up this shoe on the internet, find out like what is the new price, and then I would probably just send a really low offer and see if it gets accepted. Now, one thing to keep in mind with buying something on Vinted is if you give them a lower offer and it gets accepted, you still need to pay the buyer protection fee as well as shipping. I've had one order on which I didn't have to pay shipping, but let's imagine that I was gonna go and buy this one. I can say buy now and it will take me through to the next page. I'm not paying anything yet, so this is good. And I will see an overview and I can see how much shipping will be. So this would be $3.79, or I can ship to my home, which would be a lot more expensive. So personally, I've been shipping everything to the same pickup point so that I could just go one time and try to collect everything at once. I ended up having to go twice, but I thought that was a better way of spending my time, and it was a lot cheaper than having it all be shipped to my house. So imagine I was to buy these shoes, what I would end up with is pay €6 for the shoes, $3.70 for the buyer protection fee, and then $3.79 for the shipping. So the total would still be almost €68. Now, I think on shoes this is pretty okay, but if you have the same kind of buyer protection fee as well as shipping fee on, say, an item that is just worth a lot less, then that might end up being pretty expensive for what you want to buy. Let's say we wanted to buy this Nike shirt here, it's €5. We can be like, oh, that's cheap, nice, you know, €5, that's nothing. But then we go through the checkout and we end up paying $9.70, which, I mean, it's almost double. So what you can do at that point, you can buy shop bundles. So you could buy multiple items from the same person. So I highly recommend you to like basically find somebody that has multiple items in your size, and then see if you can create a bundle, and then you can offer a price for that bundle, which obviously for somebody selling something on Vinted is also great because they only need to ship items one time. It's less work for them and they often just want to get rid of stuff. To conclude, can you buy good stuff on Vinted? Can you buy running gear really well secondhand? I would say the answer is yes. You can buy really awesome running gear secondhand, which is much more sustainable as well as cheaper. So if you have been struggling because you think running is too expensive, or you want to buy these really cool shorts but they're just above your budget, then why not check out a secondhand marketplace? Whether it is eBay or some website that is big in your country or Vinted, go ahead, look, throw out some offers, maybe give yourself a budget like I did. I said €100, I ended up spending 75, and look at me now. I got 5 new items, among which things that I really wanted to have, like the flip belt, the better shorts, a nice top for races, a running hat. And I think that from now on I will be buying all my running gear probably on Vinted, and I will be saying goodbye to some of the cheaper stuff that I bought initially. If you like this video, then please make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. And if you want more running content like this, then make sure to sign up for Run Letters. Run Letters is my free weekly newsletter in which I share the best running content, events, gear, and so forth. And you can sign up for that via the link in the description. First link. It's completely free and it's just super fun. I promise no spam, just good emails. I hope you liked this video. Feel free to give me inspiration for other videos, other Vinted hauls that I need to do, and I will see you in the next one.